We're going live. Oh dude, we're live.
We're live.
See how everyone's doing today. See who's in the room. We're at 0 so far. 0
Who in the
people.
house? I'm here.
I literally put on this zero politics on the thumbnail. So maybe people are just like, nope, we're out. Oh, got 2 people.
That's all everybody gives a shit about this week, man.
I am not. There's not a single ounce of it being uttered on this podcast.
I am fine with that.
Yeah, this is going to be a free zone. I find this is where, like, I kind of get into this role when shit like this is happening, where I just want to find a safe space. And this is kind of like
get away from the bullshit, right? Like, I don't want to embellish in it.
Yeah, Twitter is a shit show right now. How's everybody doing? We got 3 people in the room so far.
I'm one of them, so we got 2 people in the
room. Messing with the numbers. I have a feeling.
I have to because I can't. I'm not stream. Like, I have an iPad in front of me, right? Like, I'm not on stream.
Oh yeah. Otherwise, that's true. Well, see, I'm looking forward to setting up. Like, I've got to really like build out my video setup. And one of those is getting a separate monitor and doing all that kind of stuff. So that's coming. It's just, there's also so many freaking things plugged into this computer already just for a live stream. Like, it's ridiculous how much crap is plugged into this computer.
Yeah. Man.
Well, especially the Rodecaster video needs two inputs for it to work properly. Or you can run it wirelessly. Like, it actually runs wirelessly quite well. But, I mean, yeah, 3 people still in the room. Hey, is this getting, because I mentioned politics in the title? Yeah, so I mentioned this at the this is the title of the thing. My wife's now a doctor. She's an actual official PhD now, man.
Congratulations.
Just defended this afternoon.
Congratulations to Mrs. Dark Corner.
Mrs. Dark Corner Studios. Yeah, she just defended. So we're kind of going over the rules of when I should be calling her doctor, and yeah.
Good. It's good to establish those right out of the gate.
5 people. Sweet. We're moving up in the world, Dylan.
Moving up in the world.
I had a feeling that
we were single digits.
I had a feeling we were going to have to rebuild kind of viewership with the podcast I keep calling it a freaking podcast. Rebuild the viewership with the show. I like a UK's in the house. Cheers, buddy. How's she going? It's a little bit of, there you go. Can't put the faceplate on. So we're just waiting for some people to pile in. Yeah. See how everyone's week has gone. Maybe it's a quiet week online because of all the bull that's been going on, all the crap. But yeah, safe space, everybody. Safe space. Ooh, we're up to 7. The upper single digits, Dylan. The upper single digits.
Almost at 2. Yeah, big times.
We're almost at double digits, buddy. Yeah, this is, I was promising last week, I was like, you were going to do a little bit more work, see if we can have like themes to each week. And then I get to Friday and I'm like, oh shit, what is there to talk about? And no, it's just going to be us with verbal diarrhea over the next hour. So in case you came here for something really, really impactful, sorry. Had a busy week, lots of job interviews. Hope one of them pay off. I like UK. What's the jobs you're looking for, man? You like, we talking like McDonald's, some Starbucks? I'm guessing not.
I hope not. I wouldn't want to be in those jobs right now. Yikes.
Also, a busy week with job interviews is that's a good week. Busy is busy, but good. It has been an absolute insane week for Dark Corner Studios.
When is it not? When was the last time you haven't said that?
Well, I mean, there's a lot going on. IT security, technical sales. That's cool. What? Schindler Rafferty? All right, I got to do it.
I just wanted to see what would happen if I joined from my iPad. And hi. I'll stop now.
I removed you. Don't worry. I removed you. This week, this is one of those weeks that when you just can't talk about anything, but you're so looking forward to talking about everything.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even express how big the next year is gonna be and how awesome it's gonna be too. Um,
It's gonna be a good year.
Beresford, greetings also from the UK. You guys are gonna have to start, like, greeting us from the specific city, I think,
Yeah,
just
I
so we
wanna
can
get
kinda keep
a
it apart.
kind of a map in my head of where everyone's at, like, roughly. Like, what
There's a
continent, at least.
there's a snooker channel called Break from Life that I'm absolutely obsessed with. I
Oh,
love
snooker.
watching snooker. Break from Life, and what he does is during his videos, he does a shout out and he puts a pin on a map for anybody that commented. Like if somebody commented, a new person commented on one of his videos, he'll put a pin in the map from where you're from. I got my pin in about a month and a half ago. So
Wow.
Marlborough. I'm sure it's pronounced differently in the UK. Wiltshire,
Marlboro.
UK. Um, Fine cigarettes. Uh,
I was wondering when that was gonna weasel its way in.
yeah, well, we're back down to 6, man. We're losing them. We're losing them fast and furious. So Dylan, how's your week gone? What's new with you?
Oh, my week's gone good. Lots of changes and pivots and twisty turny.
I
It's
just
all good though.
realized there's nothing we can talk about when it comes to
No,
our
I know.
jobs.
I had a great conversation with a coworker today about Pro Tools. We're both Pro Tools like Windows nerds. So
Yeah.
it was fun to find the one other audio guy that's not a Mac guy. Like,
You
um,
find that's happening now, a lot, that where people are kind of moving over to Mac, like, a lot?
yeah,
No?
well, it came up because we were talking about Steinberg and how when you're developing an ASIO license or ASIO license, I'm not telling you what the license is for, but when you're developing an ASIO license, you have to pay a licensing fee to
That makes
Steinberg,
sense.
which
Yeah.
I didn't know explicitly, but it makes sense. Yep.
Yeah.
Um, and we were talking about how, a lot of times, like, I've had good stability on my machine. Usually the stability is just bad drivers because the manufacturers just don't care. Oh, you know why? Because for Mac, they don't have to write a driver.
Nope. Nope.
For Mac, they don't have to write a driver. And I'm like, man, Windows tried with MME and Wasapi, and it's all shit. It's all direct sound is shit. That thingy that you and I have been
Yeah.
playing around
Yeah.
with,
Yeah.
winky winky. That in a DAW, it works awesome because it
Y
uses the same drivers
yeah.
that Pro Tools is running through. But in its standalone desktop form, oh my god, a nightmare. Um,
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine. I'm pretty sure it was written with Mac in mind.
But we were
I
talking
can't
about just how, like, I hate Apple. Like, I am so
yeah.
against Apple, but there's some shit that they just really did well. Core
Dude,
audio being one of those.
it's life-changing as far as I'm concerned, especially when you're a reviewer and you're plugging so much shit into your computer.
Dude, even
This
I don't know, man. I've got an iPad for competitive analysis of apps for things that have to do with sound. Um, and I am shocked at how much of a computer this thing is. Like I got the iPad Pro, and so it's got an M4 chip in it. So it's literally got the hardware of a MacBook Air. Um, and it's just things that I've been able to use it for, productivity wise, entertainment wise. Like, oh my god, what a device! I have never gone on the tablet train. This is my first foray into it, and so far, especially for work, oh my goodness,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
it's my travel laptop, dude. I don't have to travel with my gigantic, Dell 7780 beast.
Didn't you
I can,
get that for work though? Like,
yeah.
wasn't that the
So
whole
I
point of
use
that?
that here for work, but I don't travel with it. It's just too big. It doesn't fit. It's a 17-inch, which was my bad. That was a dumb choice. Um,
Yeah.
a 16-inch would actually. It's just barely too big. If it was just an inch smaller, I guarantee it would be perfect. Anyway, yeah, iPad, Apple, good stuff.
So this is the U87 AI from Temu that I just kind of finished up writing
Oh
or
yeah.
doing a
I
video
was
with.
happy when you told me it didn't sound good because I thought this was going to be one of
Of
those things like,
course it
oh, it's a hair different, like
You know how much hate I would get?
oh,
I do have to say, oh my god, this thing will not come off of its shock mount. And now it's like, fuck Temu. Come
That
on.
sounds terrible. Like, I just want to say that just the material, just that those resonances are not very flattering. You know,
It's coming apart.
when you adjust stuff on the U87, I feel like I'm like twisting a knob on like a tank. Like it's solid German metal. It's all bullshit, but
Oh, this is intense because it's falling apart at its base. So I'm trying to take it. Oh, there it goes. This is what I've been working with today, and I mic'd up the acoustic guitar. Yeah, let's just say this thing isn't going to win any awards, but I do have to say, like, from a sound perspective, where US or where condenser mics were 5 years ago, the incredibly cheap has gotten so much better. And I think it's just like capsule design and like probably having like capsule manufacturers realizing there's a ton of money and just cheap ass, so they're just selling them and they sound pretty decent.
if you
However,
had to compare it to another cheap, like sub $100 condenser mic
no,
that you've reviewed,
nope, not
no.
even close. This is the PCB.
Oh,
I think I was telling Dylan about
yeah.
the PCB because I wanted to compare it to the U87, but I'm not going to open up or your U87 to do that because that's disrespectful. But it's so bad. It's the sound quality, like the quality of the sound is pretty decent. Like it's like a kind of a rich, muddy condenser mic. It's hard to explain. But then when you look at the sound profile or the noise profile that comes with it, oof, Maron. It's so bad. Like it just sounds like there's interference with it. That's
Yeah.
basically all it is. Don't
Right.
cross thread it. No, I didn't. Don't worry. I think it's a $50 mic on Temu, so I'm not too concerned if I wreck
Well, when
that.
I was on there, it was like because they had one of their promotions on, so they're like, "This is $0."
Yeah,
After
no,
your
that
kind of
comes.
after your
Yeah,
joining bonus, because I'm so against Timu. Just
it comes.
I,
It's got this the joining bonus. You have to sign up for something and literally like sign your information away.
no, yeah,
Uh,
I'm good. I'm good.
indirectly affected by underground strikes. Oh no, in London, in the sense that my alternative trains were more packed than usual. I'm sorry to hear that. I meant the mic mount. Oh, the mic mount. So, I think did I talk about this last week? The ridiculousness that is this microphone
You alluded to it,
shock
but I
mount.
don't think you talked about
It
it.
is the most ridiculously disgusting plastic I've ever used in my life. And I make reference to it. You know how I refer to Zoom plastic? This is like McDonald's toy plastic.
Ouch.
It is like the tightening knob here is plastic. All it's threaded plastic. It's gross. And I've never actually experienced this kind of disdain for a piece of gear that's come into this studio, but this is just wrong. I actually thought about seeing if it would fit like one of the Rode, because
Oh,
it's
one of their
kind of,
bodies.
yeah, like it looks like it would thread onto a Rode,
Uh,
but yeah, it's brutal. The video is going to be as expected. Let's just put it that way. And no, don't worry, I didn't cross thread it. That is safe. This microphone, I don't know what to do with, but I now own a really shitty U87 AI. But yeah, the noise profile is super weird. And you can hear distortion in some of the frequencies when you gain it up.
hmm.
And what a lot of people like when you do a review of a microphone like this, a lot of people hear it and they're like, well, that's not bad. The problem is when you compress it and you EQ it and you start to do stuff to the signal, and all of a sudden those things that sounded horrible are now gained up.
Yeah, they're all
And
amplified. Yeah,
yeah,
literally.
and then you use this again on something else. So let's say you do a bit of acoustic work with this, you gain that up, you compress it, and then you go and you decide to put this in front of an amp and you get a lead line, and then you compress that, you gain it. And now all the noise is just
Oh, yeah.
compounding on top
Yep.
of each other.
Or like, I don't
Um,
know, man. One of the things I've used a U87 for, like an actual U87, is a room miking an acoustic guitar.
yeah,
So for those that have not recorded a lot of musical instruments before, acoustic guitars are kind of notorious for being one of the quietest, most sensitive signals. That, like, if you have a noisy preamp and you're trying to bring an acoustic guitar and you're trying to add any dynamics control to those mics.
yeah,
I did it with I think you did a review of the AR5.
yep.
Yeah, so I I tried to set up, because it was the only figure eight mic I had at the time, and so I was trying to do some acoustic stuff with that as the side mic, as my figure eight side mic, and then I had, I think, the P120 as the mid, the
Oh,
Perception, the
that's
AKG.
nice.
Yeah. Holy noise. Holy noise. That ribbon mic is no, and part of it is the really shitty activator that ART has put in there, the
Yeah.
cloud lifter, as it were. Because an active ribbon mic, for those that don't know, is literally a normal ribbon mic with a cloud liftery thing, or a mic activator, as they're more formally known, on the
Preamp.
input. That's why they need fandom power,
Yeah.
is to run that little cloud lifter. But obviously, the quality of the insulation and the other properties of that internal activator are significantly less than what Cloud uses. Cloud is a ribbon mic company, which is why they make the Cloud lifter. It just happens to be really good for things like SM7Bs also, but it's for
So,
ribbon mics.
so acoustic guitars being quiet. This acoustic guitar is the antithesis of quiet. It is one of the loudest and boomiest guitars I've ever owned. So
Oh
when
yeah,
I
it's a
record,
jumbo, man. Yeah, yeah, it's like my
yeah,
Washburn,
it
except much more
is.
expensive.
It is insanely boomy, and I put it 6 inches from a microphone, and it's still like that. The mud that comes out of it from the hole at
Yeah, yeah.
6 inches, you've got almost like foot and a half. But when
Right.
you're comparing two mics, you really can't do it from that far away.
No.
But yeah, it's chonky, man. Late to the party. Congrats to Dr. Mrs. Dark Corner Studios. Yes, in case you
Thank you
guys
for
are late.
signing.
Yeah, thank you. The wife just defended her PhD and it got accepted today. Big news. This has been like the last 4 years, which is why, like, my wife, I got her on because I wanted to put a bit of a different spin on some of the reviews, something that I hadn't seen, and I was using her. And then she dropped off and she stopped being a part of that. It's just because she got super busy. She's now a professor, a university professor, as well as a midwife, as well as doing a PhD, and that finally came to an end. So some of her time is freeing up, which I'm sure she's going to fill with something. It's like her fourth degree, which is just ridiculous. Good to know the streams are coming back to a weekly schedule, and last week wasn't a one-time thing. Congrats on you, miss, become a doctor, medical or PhD? Yeah, totally PhD. Officially, it's a PhD in social work, but it's around birth trauma because she's a midwife. So it's very, very cool to see. Very, very proud. She doesn't, quote unquote, have her graduation ceremony until the spring, but yeah, she just got confirmation that it was accepted.
Nice.
So we're actually, as soon as we're done here, I'm going to we're doing like a little like dinner at a bar.
Nice.
So is she more clever than most of us here? Not when it comes to this kind of stuff. Clever is an interesting thing. She's wonderfully smart.
How's her fluid intelligence? Let's go for that. That's a little bit neutral.
Fluid, 100%. She's a very intelligent person. But with the stuff she wants to be
Yeah, of course.
intellectual with.
Everybody is like that. I
Yeah.
mean, intelligent people, they pick a specialty.
Yep.
Humans, that's just it's not a smart or dumb thing. It's
Yep.
just everybody does that.
She's a fish that never wanted to learn how to climb a tree. Her and I are complete polar opposites as well. We identify we're like best friends, which is why we get along so well. And like your best friends you don't share everything with your best friends in regards to like interests and stuff like that. It's people that you like to hang out with and have a fun time with, and that's kind of what we based our relationship on. We are 100% polar opposites. And yeah, like it's kind of become the key of our relationship. the fact that we don't have anything, like we have our own separate space. Like this is my studio that she doesn't set foot in. She's got her own space. She's got her own thing. She's one of these school educated types. And I went to college. So for radio. Um, Opposites attract, as they say. By the way, I got to say the name again. Jerker. Thanks, buddy.
Jerker.
Yeah, it's the weekly jerk.
Demonetized immediately.
Where did everybody go? Why are people leaving?
No, I dropped down to 2. Yeah,
I still have my shirt on. Yeah,
Me
so
too.
it was one of those, like, this was kind of one of those moments that we were building up to, and just as she removed something from her plate, I put a bunch of things on.
It's the
So
distribution system of life, man.
I don't think I mentioned this last week. I mentioned that I did. I didn't mention who with. I don't think, anyways. I picked up a new client for editing. I'm now an editor for the Generation Y podcast, which is I think it's official now that I can actually say that. But on top of that, myself and the host Aaron are starting our own podcast, which is just another like iron in the fire at the moment, but it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be based as a Detroit Red Wing podcast. I think I mentioned that. There've been so many conversations with people this past week, and kind of splitting my just everything's being split up, and I don't remember who I said what to. So I was about to ask if you intentionally didn't say my name with the first comment. Now I feel responsible for the sudden drop in viewership. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. They'll come back. I just, as long as I keep my shirt on, they don't all leave.
And if they don't, fuck them.
Fuck them. You get better at that the more liquor you get in you. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
there's going to English plus alcohol. That's what it
is. And you get Australian. I noticed you're not the one that said that, eh? Have anything to do with who employs you?
Maybe.
Yeah, so there's going to be some more content on the way for sure, which is just spiraling out of control now. I don't even know what I'm going to do with my week. I literally have to like monitor how much YouTube I watch now just so I can get some work done. It's kind of sad, actually. Side end. My wife is also a PhD. She struggled briefly after she finished hers to figure out what to do with her new free time. She figured it out pretty quick. What did she end up doing? Because this is actually a thing that I'm hearing is quite, because it's so encompassing, right? It's all encompassing. It takes all of you. It becomes everything you talk about. My wife is, again, she got a job as she's on tenure track at a university, which is a big deal. But she's also kind of like sitting here going, what those 30 hours I spent, what am I going to do? And she has no idea. She's not the type to have hobbies either, which I find weird. Like if I have a ton of free time, I know exactly what I'm doing with my free time. Like I can give you about 7 different things that I'm going to go do with my free time, whether it's guitar, whether it's, I like building things. With my wife, it's just like work or no work. So what is your wife doing with her free time? I'm quite curious. Dylan, what's your go-to if you have like all the free time in the world outside of alcohol?
There's so many things. I mean, music, obviously, recording music, playing music, writing music, something music, right? Playing a musical instrument for, like, I can sit with my looper, with just me, my guitar pedal, my looper, a guitar, like a Tele or a Strat or whatever, or a Les Paul, and 4 hours will go by, and I'm locked in, man. I'm in a flow state, that's all I need. Or again, like building stuff, like you said, like I'll make some cables, or I'll fix some shit that needs to get fixed, or I'll do some research on a huge part of my job now is research. So I'll do research into something, into a piece of kit that people are rolling with, or I'll call a buddy and talk about audio stuff, or I don't know, I'll sit and watch something, or I'll play a game.
Yeah,
there's so many things.
I'm finding YouTube is sucking a lot out of my a lot out of the creativity.
Like,
I think it's
doing it or consuming it?
consuming it.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
doing
same.
YouTube's fun. Consuming it
Yeah, I
is
fall into the like I'm on shorts. I don't have TikTok. I don't use TikTok. YouTube Shorts is my TikTok. I will sometimes and I'll look down and 20 minutes will have gone by and I'll be
I
like, okay.
I have not been able to get behind shorts. There's some shorts that I think are pretty cool that I'm definitely behind, and that's cool. But then I'm just like, I don't know, maybe the algorithm being who I am is just like shrugging and going, I don't know, just give them anything.
You
Because some of
might,
the
yeah, mine is a mishmash of crap. Sometimes I'll just scroll right past it, and it knows, right? It knows what you've actually locked onto and what you're like, yeah, fuck it. And so mine, I don't know, it gives me a good mix of stuff, and sometimes it'll be like, hey, most of the stuff I'm seeing is just pissing me off. But a
yeah,
lot of times it'll still be like, all right, 10 minutes will go by, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, that was an
I
entire break that I should have been resting my brain, but instead,
yeah, I enjoy the shit out of long form. Andrew says Dylan's gone non-corporate clothing today. Not that it didn't have style. Welcome back. Um,
Yeah,
you
it's
literally
funny. It's funny you mentioned that. I was staring at my wardrobe, going, "What am I gonna wear? What's audacious? I know a Hawaiian shirt in fucking September. That's pretty audacious. Let's do that."
especially
Um,
for Canada, man. Although it's been a little warm
it's
lately.
nice, man. It's actually in here. It's quite warm. This I'm actually quite warm even in this shirt. It's not coming off. Don't worry. Um, But no, yeah, I don't know. There's no I never felt pressure to adhere to a certain dress code. It's just that my wardrobe, I rocked a suit and tie for a good while. And so I have a lot of options that are in that vein. So
Did
button
you do
downs, man.
suit and tie? Did you literally do suit and tie?
Well, okay, I did my version, which was like
Oh,
dark
oh,
wash jeans,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
a jacket, a dress
Oh,
shirt, and a tie.
you
I was
actually did dress shirt. I've never it's
Well,
been probably 20 years.
button down. Sometimes it was a full on dress shirt, and other times it
Yeah.
was just, a button down, like a short sleeve or something.
See, I've gone so far beyond any of that that my wardrobe now is mostly Lululemon pants and t-shirts.
See,
And
I gotta shake the jeans. I have a jeans thing. I have one pair of chinos, and a pair of dress pants, and the rest are all pretty much jeans and shorts. Um,
um yeah, I see I'm even beyond the jeans. I own jeans, never wear them because I'm working here. So like, why are you wearing pants
yeah,
that may be
I will say
slightly
this: I
uncomfortable?
have a shitload of pajamas.
Yeah,
I have probably 30 pairs of plaid pajama pants, some version of plaid. You know what I'm
that's
talking about.
that yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Canadian
used to
way.
do those
Well,
until I started the
the Lululemon.
the Lululemon phase. I basically have incredibly expensive pajama pants. Like we're
Yeah.
talking like $150
Yeah,
pajama
yeah.
pants now.
Oh, yeah.
But that you can go to the store and not look like an idiot. Poseidon says she planned her wedding, then began to engage more with her hobbies. Now she's working on building her friend circle since she's not from here. That's nice. My wife, I wish the hobbies thing isn't going to happen, but yeah, she usually ends up taking a project on of some sort. So yeah,
Which is so funny because, like, hobbies, I don't know, the concept of a hobby, like, you can still have a hobby and have it be productive. You can still have a hobby that is working
yeah,
towards something profitable, right? And so, like lots of people, I would say a side hustle essentially is kind of a hobby.
yep.
Yeah, that's a good question. Where, like, it's not a huge offshoot, but like, where does a side hustle, where does a hobby become a side hustle? Obviously, we know when something becomes your job, it's when it's your main source of income.
What's funny, so I'm like side hustle king. So I s- I got into radio, started YouTube as a side hustle, got into YouTube as a full time, started podcast editing as a side hustle, got into podcast editing almost full time, and now I've got another side hustle that I can't talk about. So there's I think it's at the point where it starts to overtake um your interests. Like I'm still really passionate about doing YouTube, but then podcast editing came along and went, "Look, you can make a lot of money doing me." And I'm like, "Oh, hey." Um, and so it's like finding new ways to basically get really good at podcast editing. Like, and I've gotten really good at podcast editing. So I think it just kind of becomes more of a passion project for me, and then it becomes like kind of almost all encompassing. But usually for most people, it's when the side hustle makes money. You can find me streaming. Says, how are you guys? I don't. Is this a new name or are you new to the live stream? We are doing well. I'm
Well,
a little presumptive to speak for Dylan, but um,
we're all good
yeah,
over here.
it's a unique concept on this live stream now that I'm just starting to get used to since we came back. Is that we have completely different roles now since we last were doing a live stream last that was early spring.
Yep.
So
That was like right, yeah, like end of January, beginning of February.
hello jerker, when I have too much free time I end up watching two Canadians live on YouTube rambling in circles every
Hey,
Friday.
we'll happily
we
chew up your free time.
we try to not hit the circles too much, but yeah, that's hard, man. Have you made it to Sydney in summer yet? Did you melt, Mr. Canadian? This summer was pretty bloody hot.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
have
it was.
we have not gotten to Sydney in the summer yet. There is plans. There are plans, sorry, English proper. Um, for Dylan and I to go to Australia at some point that I
At a
heard, but
point, yeah, at a point.
there's a lot of things going on and a lot of balls up in the air, and we are one of those balls. That sounds really weird, but you know what I mean.
We
So
are
it's
we are two balls. That's it. That's all we
we are
are.
literally two balls.
We are two balls.
Two balls. I think it's going to happen. I would love for it to happen in the middle of the Australian summer. We shall see.
Yeah, right now it's
Uh,
kind of a shitty time. Well, actually, it's getting better, obviously.
yeah.
As it's getting worse here, it's getting better there.
But it's also just like I think there's got to be a bit of a downtime on their end, and like the downtime for most companies like Road in Australia is usually the summer here.
Right. Yeah.
That's but then everybody's on holidays there, so I don't doubt they're going to fly us out there for that. But I do have some fun stuff planned that I've chatted with Peter about. One is his gigantic mic locker that I'm very interested in.
Beer's got a
There,
giant locker of a lot of different things. Microphones is one of those.
have you negotiated Kurt Cobain's guitar for the Other Dark Corner channel music video jam session yet? He's gone on record to say that Dylan is allowed to play the Kurt Cobain guitar. He's actually gone on record and Dylan only, and
I
I
also
support
just
that.
found out that I'm gonna get to meet Mutt Lang pretty soon. That's kind
No
of
way.
cool. Yeah, through
Where?
work. I have a coworker that graduated Robert Lang, like recording academy kind of thing, and so they're like, "Yeah, we'll have to go and visit Robert." Robert.
Mutt.
Yeah, old Mutt Lang. I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's cool.
Where
I'm
is
into
Mutt
that idea."
Lang? Where is
Uh,
he?
Seattle, apparently.
Is he in Seattle? I
Apparently.
could so he's not Canadian despite him marrying a very
No,
famous
no, no,
Canadian.
no. Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah.
Okay. I was for some reason thought he was Canadian for some reason. Um
Well, it's because he married one, and he's so well known to have, consorted with one, as it were.
if you can get me to meet Mutt Lang, I would be very happy. Just so you know.
If I can get
Uh
me to meet let's start there, and then I'll see if I can rope, hook a fella up.
I'm not a podcast editor, but is the best piece of podcasting editing not the software or headphone, but the quality of chair you sit in? 100%.
Yeah, it's actually really true.
So I'm actually about to change up and I'm getting a Secret Lab chair.
Something that wicks away sweat is very important.
Oh, so important. I'm getting the Secret Lab chair. I've got the most popular, like what do they call it? Like this it's the oh fuck man, my brain is fucking mush. It's one of the most popular gaming chairs. They kind of go poor, they go bad after about 2 years.
I was gonna say I haven't looked into specifically. I don't know. I find a chair. It's
The
comfy.
netting type chairs with all the
yeah.
they're good at first. They go to
first.
shit after about 2 years.
It's good to know. I've never liked that style, but I'm it's good to know because there's a lot of them.
they're really, really comfortable at first, and they basically kind of cuddle you in. And then after a while, you're like, why does my left ass cheek hurt? Oh, it's because I'm sitting at a slight angle because some of the netting is kind of given way. And anyways, yeah. So the chair is super important. The headphones really do help, though. Not gonna
Mm.
lie. Hey, I could have referred to the WAN show. You never know. Yeah, fair. WAN shows. I haven't watched that in years, man. Since they started having all that BS pop up about negative Linus stuff, like Linus being a dick and all that, I've just kind of faded
Fallen
away
out of
from
it.
Linus Tech Tips.
Mm.
There's been a lot of BS around that. I did it, boo boo. I made a mistake. I did a boo boo. I made a mistake. I changed my name, an accident. King Paco, Nintendo lover. Okay, King Paco, Nintendo lover. How's it going, buddy? So you did change. This is a name change that just confused the shit out of everyone. Gotcha.
And by
I've
everyone, he means himself. Um,
I've noticed in the last few episodes you've avoided mentioning the podcast names you edit. Is this a contracting part of a podcasting? So when I like with Minds of Madness, I've been happy to talk about when I started working with Generation Y, it was very much a well, let's see what you can do.
mm.
Because they were
Probationary period
not
of
just
sorts.
that, like they were so used to doing it themselves. And according to them, they've gone through tons of people that nobody knew how to pace them. And if you're a podcast editor and you want to know how to pace somebody, literally just go through their older episodes and figure out how the amount of time in between sentences that they put. That's all you have to do. So I got to get my kid to feed the dogs. And as soon as he heard it, he was like, holy crap, you know how to edit. And since then I was about a month in and I felt pretty good about it, but I didn't want to jinx it by saying anything. But I think by now, considering the fact that I'm probably going to be working with Aaron on a podcast,
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty certain that this is going to be a partnership for a while. So yeah, Gen Y. I don't want to start talking about it before before I've really passed that. Can you feed dogs? Question mark. Very important. So yeah, that's one of the reasons. It is kind of like it's kind of not necessarily poor taste. Oh, I just sent you a text. Could you feed the dogs? Yeah. Thank you. I'm doing a live stream because it's Friday. Wow, that was that was awesome. So yeah, there is it's kind of bad taste to kind of it's a business arrangement between two companies uh that if they don't want it known that I'm their editor, but then a lot of these people put in their show notes who their editor is. And once you start seeing your name in the show notes, you can actually say it. Honestly, if I was you, I'd save up more money and go with a Herman Miller Embody or something. I thought about it. In order to spend close to $3,000, which the Herman Miller stuff is around $3,000 in Canada, man, I've never sat in a Herman Miller. I don't know if they're that good. Dylan, have you sat in a Herman Miller?
I have not.
I can't say for sure whether or not I would say it's worth it. I'm struggling spending $1,000 on a Secret Lab chair, and it's a Batman chair or a Superman chair. That says something that I'm struggling knowing that I'm going to own a Superman chair because that's cool,
Yeah.
at least in my world. Definitely. The water running is the washer that my child is putting
I
on.
cannot hear anything, so I think you're good.
Wilf says, remember Dylan, mom saying Shania for the Parliament of Canada, so you're connected.
That was a true story, by the way.
Okay, what's the story there? You can't just say that's a true story and walk away.
I was extremely tiny, so I'm a little hazy on the details. I don't remember much of it, but it was indeed it was a performance of a few Shania Twain songs, if I'm not maybe two, if I'm not mistaken, for the Parliament of Canada. I remember the circumstances, so don't ask me.
All right.
It was a kind of a party thing of some sort. That's all I got.
Andrew, when it comes to qualifications, there's also a lot of effort to get them. I've have some, but if you have a basic MSc, PhD, the correct acronym is bullshit, more shit, and pile higher and deeper. Yeah, I've
You're
heard
not
that.
wrong. Mhm.
BSc. Okay, BSc. I was wondering what the MSc was. Masters of Science, I guess. Jerker, it's been a long time since the last few streams when even the family forgot you're here every Friday. Yeah, my kid got quite used to. So summer's here. There's a reason why we kind of take summer off regardless, and that is just because summers get
Gets busy.
ridiculous.
Yep,
I
gets busy.
I'm in Toronto for half of the summer, with my kid
It's
who's
because Canadian winters are kind of, for lack of a better word, disabling, in many
yeah.
senses, and so a lot of stuff, just general events and stuff, gets kind of sequestered to, the 6 to 10 months that is summer. Most
Yep.
likely 6.
Most likely 6. Actually, I looked it up. There are years in Canada where it snows in October, November, December, January, February, and March. That is 6 months of snow, not cold, snow.
Yeah, yeah, white stuff. Yeah,
That's painful.
yeah, yeah. But the summers
Hey
are
y'all.
nice. The summers are nice. The summers are fun. I
Summers
like the
are quite
summers.
nice.
Yeah.
Living in a dynamic, a temperate area that has some dynamics to the weather is actually kind of nice. I miss winter when it's not here. So like right up until January
I don't.
1st, I love winter up until January 1st, and then after that, I can fuck right off.
So basically,
So
he's okay with a week of snow, and then he's like,
basically,
"All right,
yeah,
I've had enough."
I'm done. Soften says, "Hey y'all, how's it going, buddy?"
What up?
A chair that's a driving chair is not a good chair for ergonomics. Best marketing after different shaped drinking glassware for different beverages. Yeah, I think you're referring to the Herman Miller. I don't know what. The next one is most gaming chairs will lead to 50-year-old YouTubers with bad backs. That's interesting. Um, I've heard that the chairs, like I have Tyler, who is my buddy from Minds of Madness, the host. He uses one from Secret Lab. He swears by it. Has had it for years. He's 53 or 54, and like if a 53 or 54-year-old can swear by the chair, I think
It's a
that's
good chair.
something that, yeah, I'll be able to join in with. $1,000, man. I've been hovering over the buy button for so long just because of that $1,000 mark.
Yeah.
It's so hard to pull the trigger on something like that. Being an Austrian, it's snowing 6 months a year sounds pretty normal to me, given that my country is extremely mountainous and the winters tend to last longer up there. I've wanted to go to Austria for some time. Knowing that it's quite like Canada, I'll stick to the summer. Thank you.
Yeah. No thanks.
Secret Lab chairs for over 15 years, and I'm over 50. Okay, so we've got actual people that say that Secret Lab's
Secret
the
Lab.
shit.
Good to know.
Done. And we've got people. Secret Labs is probably the best of them, but honestly, yeah, the form factor in general is sketchy. I don't like most gaming chairs because I find them to be non-yielding.
Mm.
And if you're sitting in something for 8 hours editing, you need yield. You need to have some sort of yield. Like I'm sitting on a kind of a stool-like chair for the live streams, and by the time an hour hits, there's parts of me going numb that should not be numb.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's just like, yeah. Being Australian means you get confused with Austrians all the time. You think the desert and absence of snow would give it away. Yeah, it's way too close to spelling, man.
Yeah.
As you as you just
Well, they
showed
say
there.
like when we speed read as humans, we read the first letter, the last letter, and the length of the word, and that's how we kind of in a quick instance gauge how the word is. Like I remember in high school we did an experiment where they took a like a page from a book and they blurred out all of the middles of the
Yep.
words, and you could still very clear. It was kind of weird actually. I
Our
felt like I was reading
brains
code, but I was like, yeah, yeah,
our brains do so much with that kind of stuff.
yep.
Yeah, time to stand, bite me, watch. I'll tell you when it's time to
Yeah, that's why I'm
stand.
not wearing mine. Yeah, exactly.
There's no kangaroos in Austria.
That's not a bad
Um,
thing.
There'd be some weird ass kangaroos if there are.
Oh yeah.
Autocorrect spelling is evil. Yeah, if you're watching on a mobile device, I've always hated that. It always makes you feel like an idiot. You're like constantly correcting
Oh yeah.
yourself.
Duck off, Aiden.
Yeah, no kidding. There's a place in Styria. I'm guessing you're thinking Syria, which is Styria, which is one of Austria's states, where there's a hiking trail in the winter that is totally submerged and turned into a lake in the summer from the melted glaciers. Oh my god, that sounds amazing. I didn't realize there was a state in Austria called Styria.
Styria.
Austria is just like borrowing names from everything around the globe, and they're either removing or adding a letter. I think that's their whole
dude,
thing.
that's all English is. English is 30% French and 70% Anglo-Saxon.
What is this new state? Syria? No, add a letter. Styria.
Styria. Yes. Styria.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, we're making fun of your country, you jerker. I used to have a DX racer, and after a while, the slanted sides made my hips hurt. Now with my air on, my hips still hurt getting up, but that's a different issue. Yeah, like I have days where it's 12 hours in the chair, and there's nothing I can do about it. I have to wake up pre 6 a.m. to go to the gym if I want to.
Yeah.
So it needs to, and I've considered Herman Miller. Yeah.
But like you'd think this would be a bigger thing, because the amount of people now that have entire jobs sitting down for the entire day, you would think, but most of those chairs are corporate chairs, and so people don't have a say. And so they're like, all right, I'll just sit in this.
I bought a sit stand desk just for this, right? But I mean, even with a sit stand desk, you're still standing or sitting for about 2/3 of your day, because you can't stand all day either.
No, yeah, I don't want to do that.
So you're still sitting 2/3 of your day, and if you're having a really bad day, you're not standing. You're just going.
You're sitting the entire day, yeah.
So yeah, I don't necessarily think that the sit stand desk fixes all it cures everything. But again, like some of the best chairs I've used were in an office environment, because you see some of those executive chairs, they're freaking nice, man.
Yep.
Those fat ass executives, they know where it's at.
Yeah.
You gotta blame.
Those are people that make most of their job is sitting. Like,
yep. Got to blame the English language for that, though. The same way you can blame English for the similar name. In German, the name for Styria is Steiermark, and the name for Austria is Österreich. Wow. Yes, I actually did know that.
I didn't know either of those things. Wow.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, it's because I did the Österreich murder.
Österreich.
There's a murder. I believe it was a child, but it was one of the true crime stories that I did. Dolly Österreich. It was not a child. It was Dolly Österreich, and I remember that being part of the narrative around it. Let's see if I pronounced it right. Jerker is going to tell me. I pronounced it the way I was told to pronounce it via researchers. So if Österreich, I can't quite do the hike with not when Österreich. Anyways, the idea is regular movement. I'm actually German, so
He's trying to like backpedal and like re-secure himself.
Oh yeah,
being actively judged.
I swear to God, I'm German. No, you can judge me all you like for my language, man. I'll mispronounce shit all the time.
No, I was gonna say I would have taken it as a hard O, but I got no like Österreich. I don't know anything about Austria other than Austrian audio has good mics. That's the only thing.
If I recall in the research, it was the
Österreich
is where you got Austria from, right? I'm something of a German myself.
Help us, Jerger. We need a map. We're up a creek without a paddle.
I'm something of a German myself. Actually, strong German roots in my family. I do not know a lick of German, and it's been a dream of mine to go tour around Germany for some time, but I know from many people that have gone and stayed in Germany, it can be difficult to spend a lot of time in Germany without knowing German. So I have shied away from it a bit, but I do believe we're doing like a Frankfurt, and we are planning on dipping into Austria for that as well. So we're
Nice.
planning probably we're doing a Japan trip in a couple years, and there's probably going to be after that. But yeah, I am something of a German myself. I don't know. Jerker hasn't gotten back to me with the pronouncer, so
He's so
I don't.
offended. Jerker's so
I either
unbelievably
butchered it to the point where it's like he's left and he's unsubscribed, or I nailed it and he's pissed. One of the two. I doubt I nailed it though.
no,
I
I definitely did.
the R in the back of the
Oh,
throat. I can't. Oh, here. Uh, Pretty spot on. Osterreich is close enough, but I blame that on the fact that the O just doesn't exist in English. Trying to think of an English word that has the
well,
sound.
this is it, right?
"Ü."
Like, this is what
Is
people
it
don't
an
understand
U?
about other languages is like the reason that like a lot of Asian language
Or
speakers can't say the L letter is because that L sound isn't in their language.
yeah,
Like, and so there's tons of other languages that have sounds that English doesn't have. French, there's a ton of French sounds. The en
Österreich.
sound,
So it's the U like in fur or curb or Österreich.
or
Österreich.
strike, or strike,
Österreich.
or strike.
I'll work on it, buddy. I'll work on it. I'll get back
Yeah.
to you. This has been
And again, that we're just focusing on the first letter. Imagine how many other letters we're getting wrong in the word.
or the I in first. I think we probably butchered it still. We will work on it. This has been German with Jerker. Um
German with jerker. Yeah, man, that's a series. We should do
that
that.
is that is your channel name. The more you know.
Austrian with jerker.
Austria. Yeah. Making friends around the globe. The more you know. Yeah, right. I'm
I
sure
love
this
it
is
though. I love
probably
it. I love it.
fascinating for all the people getting out of the room right now. They're like, fuck, these guys are doing German now.
Watching us try to talk, yeah, try to talk German.
Fuck. Man, how long do I have to sit through this crap? Only a few more minutes, actually. We got to go soon.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes, we are going to try. Dylan, I think this is something that we're going to have to work on for next week. We're going to have to try to come up with some sort of overreaching content that we're going to do on Fridays, like something we can talk about.
Yeah, something that's not just chilling. As much as
Audio
chilling is a lot of
related.
fun.
Yeah, I think we got to do audio.
Something audio related. We've been talking about a little bit of that, but not a ton.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I picked up one of those sleds for hard drives.
Nice. Yeah.
The hot swap things.
Mhm.
It's like $200, but I'm running out of room on all my stuff, so I need to back up all my stuff onto some spinning rust.
I
Coming
hate
back
that.
to the chair topic, DX Racer pioneered the concept of overpricing flashy looking. I fell for it, went bad pretty quickly. Ugh.
Ew.
I've had my daughter learn Mandarin from me young age. Oh, from a young age. Okay, I'm like,
Right.
I don't speak Mandarin, so she can speak the tones not found in the English language if she wants to progress when older. That's cool.
That is a good idea. Well, and they say that's how. Like, I
Yes.
remember, I think Rick Beato did content on how you make like you can induce perfect pitchness into a child. You have
Yep.
to basically expose them to a lot of tonally varied music. So, like jazz, classical, between 0 and 6 months. That's the range. If you can, because that's when they're like hunting for like bits and pieces of language. And
Yeah.
so, they'll identify something like pitch, for example, and this is why there is actually a higher potency of perfect pitch folk in the kind of the southeastern side of the world than there is here, because a lot of southeastern languages have varied pitch is a function of the language. And so they right away, right out of the gate, they're kind of conditioned like, hey, the pitch of how somebody speaks is just as important as the vowel shapes and stuff. And so I don't know, it's very interesting.
This is actually an interesting question from Andrew C. Is there any reason why you would select a microphone or edit audio differently for a different culture? Japanese doesn't have tonality when spoken; it's flat. Not really, but it's more in post. I do know some languages have a lot more plosives and fricatives,
Mm.
and you will run into some microphone technique that will be different. But no, because you don't vary. especially culturally, like you wouldn't want to vary how a person is speaking. So a person who is Japanese would want to hear other people speaking
And
their
a lot of what
language
like,
the way they speak it.
I've done some Portuguese and some Spanish, editing, and it's weird because part of when you're editing, part of what you're listening for is pronunciation, and so that obviously, if you don't know the language pronunciation, it's hard to listen for, like, "Oh, they didn't pronounce that particularly articulate because I don't know what articulate sounds like in Portuguese." But
Exactly.
when you're EQing, you're not EQing for articulation, you're EQing for, like, vocal folds, right?
Yeah.
And people's facial shapes and their tracheal parameters are kind of the same. And so you listen to the character of a person's the character of their voice, the timbre of their voice, and they might use the voice differently. They might move their mouth differently, but the actual tone of their voice is more or less the same. And I don't know, follow your gut. If you know how to process a voice, I think you can sort of navigate your way through most common languages.
Yeah. Wolf says, "High and List are members of the Hysteria family. Hope we never get to meet them."
Yeah, that sounds ominous. Yeah, I don't want to know.
I know. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the inside joke on that was, but I'm sure
Yeah,
you're going
I
to
don't know
find out.
either. Yeah, it's something horrible, obviously. Um,
Um, well, so we're gonna. I've got to go to a PhD party for the wife, so we're
a
probably
food
gonna
party.
a food party. We're gonna call it here.
Cool.
Yeah. So we're gonna try. What maybe join the Discord, which now
Yeah,
that things are starting to settle down ish, I'll probably start to attend more Discord stuff. I would like to have a voice chat portion, a members voice chat kind of thing on set up so we can kind of hang and do voice chat and chat with each other and
that'd be fun. Yeah,
share some things with some of the members of the channel. So I'm looking at starting something like that up on Discord. So, but if you guys have any ideas of what you want us to talk about on, hit me up on Discord. Let me know. I think it can't be that planned, but I think we can talk about some stuff that is a little closer to the subject of the channel because I do.
we can start the conversation as something to do with audio.
Yeah, and then we can just like
Go where it
completely
goes.
rip it to shreds talking about Portuguese. Um, this is Portuguese is so weird because different sounds are dropped
It's
depending on
true.
if it's
Well,
European or
honestly,
Brazilian.
even English, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's a million dialects of the English language, and they're all slight. Like, if you want to sound Trinidadian,
Oh,
it's not Jamaican, right? Some people will hear it and think it. No, no, there's some distinct. Like, every language is kind of like that dialectically.
hey, Beresford. Now that you say that, there's a bunch of people from your country telling me that I don't pronounce solder properly.
Solder,
Um,
solder. You mean
even
solder?
though it's I mean, a dialect of English. But I would say French. If anyone's ever heard Quebecois,
Or
um,
even
Haitian,
Belgian. Belgian.
Belgian French is gorgeous. I love
Yeah,
Belgian French.
Haitian French as well. It's very different language.
Haitian,
Every
yeah.
language has their even Scottish, man. You go to the Highlands and then you go to Edinburgh and you go to Glasgow and you get three different languages.
I,
It's
I met somebody in Skye. We were in Isle of Skye, and I swear to God, he had a lot of fun with me. I had no fucking
yeah,
clue
you
what
let's
he
go.
said.
Oh, no, you.
I think he just said something about golf. I don't know. Um, it's like if you ever hear
It's
Robin
all about
Williams,
golf. What are you saying?
yeah. If you ever heard the Robin Williams skit
Oh man, it's
on
great. His whole take on that with I think he did a version with Craig Ferguson. It's
yeah, yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's but his version of the Scottish dialect and that you can't understand him spot on, especially in Skye, apparently. Rooting for your team in Australia means you're having sex with all the players. Oh yeah, rooting. I will remember not to root for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Guys, have a great week. We'll see you next Friday, and we'll try to have something better prepared for you.
But
But
yeah,
no,
something that's a little bit more, strategic or
yeah,
audio-y.
no promises. Have a good week, guys.
Ciao.